Okay, so this is Design the Ultimate Upwork Profile for Successful Freelancers, lecture number 2, Nailing Your Niche. Here we go, 5, 4, 3. So I guess the first question, Robert, is why is it important to have a niche? I have a whole bunch of skills. I should just sort of plaster them all over the place, and I'm sure that the right person will find me on Upwork.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of the opposite. If you have a whole bunch of skills, then it's ideal for when you're creating a profile on Upwork to kind of niche down and focus on one of them. And the reason just comes down to simple communication. If you're a business owner and you need help with something, let's say you need help from a Facebook advertising specialist, they might be confused if you're calling yourself a digital marketer, which includes you providing digital advertising / Facebook ads skills. It could also include you doing email marketing and social media marketing, these other avenues. And so if somebody's looking for a Facebook ads specialist and that's a skill you can provide, then you want to communicate maybe that's what you're focused on providing. So the key and consideration to keep in mind with on Upwork is that you can have a general profile and up to 2 specialized profiles. And all this basically means is that you can have 3 different focuses that you're offering to help clients with. And the recommendation is going to be as specific, be as niched down as possible. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and we'll look on Upwork to kind of see a few examples of that. Let me know when we're good.
Okay, we're good. Here's some examples.
Okay, so if I'm on Upwork right now, I'm kind of looking at it as a client would, as a business owner would. And I go to search for someone who's talented with Facebook ads. We'll see examples of this. What's going to bring up now is different freelancers who have mentioned they offer Facebook ad skills. So the first one is Amber, and she's calling herself a digital strategist who's a Facebook and Instagram expert. Second guy, online marketing expert and consultant. We don't actually see a mention of Facebook in his. Third person, Facebook, Instagram, Google, Amazon. Okay, Amazon and Facebook. Let's see if we can find anyone who's just mentioning Facebook ads. This person's doing just Google and Facebook. The point we're getting at here is, again, if you're a business owner needing help with one of these things, they're going to be more likely to click on a profile. If they just want help with Facebook ads, they will click the profile that's just mentioning Facebook ads. So if you do many things, the recommendation is to kind of niche down. What is the core, the most expertise level of experience you have? What skill is that in? And maybe that's where you want to start. If you're trying to figure out, well, how should I niche it? What you can also do is in the find jobs field, kind of type in your different keywords and have a peek at the volume of jobs that are being tagged with that keyword. Because you might have a variety of skills and you might be thinking, well, I'm pretty good at all of them. Which one should I focus on? Well, as we'll see here in a second after the page loads, there's a way for us to kind of check the amount. So Facebook ads, over 7,500 jobs found matching that. Maybe we'll throw the filter on to only look at expert level jobs. Okay, so that leaves us with about 2,900 jobs. Now, you could then change your keyword. Maybe, yes, Facebook ads is one of your skills. Your other skill is Google ads. So you punch in Google ads, and maybe Google ads, it only has 1,000 jobs. So that could be a good insight for you to decide, well, I'm going to start with Facebook ads. There's more opportunity there. That's going to be my niche. So when it comes to niching down, the more specific you can be in terms of what skill you're offering, the better. The way you can go deeper and get even more niched down, as we like to say, would be then focusing on industry. So you could be a Facebook ads expert for small businesses, for female entrepreneurs, for mindful businesses, for fitness businesses. If there's a specific niche of people you like to help, then you can layer that on top of the skill you're providing. And again, we can use the same method we just looked at here to try and see, how many Facebook ads jobs are related to fitness or one of these other niches. If there's not very much stuff coming up, then maybe, for example, Facebook ads for yoga businesses. If there's not that many jobs in that niche, then you might broaden it and make it Facebook ads for mindful businesses. So that could be yoga, meditation, anything related to spirituality. That's going to give you more options in terms of what you're applying to, but you're still pretty niche down. Or, at the highest level, you're just a Facebook ads expert. Of course, you could go with any type of business then. Small businesses, medium, corporations, that's a good one you can use. But anyways, when it comes to niching down, this is my approach to how you choose what you're going to focus on.
Very cool. So if I do focus on one niche, what about all the other skills?
Okay, so if you do choose to focus on one niche, then when it comes to you having other skills, you could, again, you're going to have a general profile on Upwork and up to 2 specialized profiles. So you could then choose, well, what are my next 2 best skills? And you'd have 3 versions of your profile for 3 of your top skills. That still might not be enough for some people. For most people, that's probably the approach I will recommend. For other people, you will need to kind of umbrella some of these skills. So if the parent skill is, let's just say, marketing, and then you're doing email marketing, social media marketing, digital advertising marketing, then one of your profiles could say that I am a digital marketing expert, and these are the 3 areas I help businesses with. The only time I'm going to recommend, though, that you kind of dilute things like this is if you literally have so many skills that having 3 focuses for yourself on Upwork in your profiles, if that's not enough, then you're going to want to kind of group them together or get more general in the way you present and niche yourself.
So one of the things that I always think about is, who is my ideal client? Who's the person that,
Yep.
So once I have a picture of, okay, my ideal client is this and this and this and this and that, then my strategy is to figure out how I can, so what is the number one thing that ideal client needs? And to use your example, let's say it's Facebook ads. Well, I know that they have more problems than just Facebook ads. Problems or challenges, or however you want to put it, right? So I would look at it and I would say, okay, Facebook ads, I think I can be quite competitive in terms of showing up so that my ideal client sees me, which is another consideration. And then I wouldn't be necessarily that concerned about the other, let's say, being found in the 3-pack in Google, for a local market or something like that is the other problem that they've got. I would use the Facebook ads to have my foot in the door. And then I would say, as I'm learning your business, Robert, I would be looking for areas where you've got a bit of a challenge. And as like and trust me, you're going to be more forthcoming with those challenges, right? And for example, I have a client, and right in the beginning when we started, they said, I need an executive assistant. Now, he didn't hire me because I'm his executive assistant, or I was going to hire anybody or do any human resources. And I said to him, well, I actually know someone who can find you a really good executive assistant. But because we were so early in our relationship, he just wanted to focus on, I'm not even sure if Scott can do this thing I'm asking him to do, let alone some other things. So after a couple of months went by, I never brought it up again. And he said to me, we've been trying to find an executive assistant. We can't find an executive assistant. Like, could you help me? And I said, of course. Now we've had 2 months of working together. We now know our relationship is on a higher level than it was before. And so I got him an executive assistant, and he's delighted with that. So I think one of the things that a lot of freelancers miss is once you know a client and they're spending some money with you, they have a lot of other money that they could spend with you too, if those are your skills, right? And it just so happened in this particular case that I knew somebody who was an executive assistant who was busy, but who knew a lot of other executive assistants, right? So it just happened to be, I'm listening, I'm hearing the opportunity, and then I'm telling my client, I might be able to help you. I'm not going to promise that I could, but I think that I can. And I think too many times our freelancers, hang on a second. Oh, my hard drive just ran out of space and I don't know why.
Oh shit.
So I think
like just now,
it just popped up now and said you've run out of space, and I'm like, I don't know why that is. So, which is really weird because it had 100 and 200 gigs. But anyway, just to finish my point was, once you know what it is your client is doing, then it's really important to keep an ear out for other problems. So you may know Google ads as well as Facebook ads. They hired you for Facebook ads, and then they tell you, like the person that's doing my Google ads has just been awful, and I let them go. Now I don't know who to do my Google ads. And then you can say, hey, let me take a look at it and see what I could do. Or they have a bad, as you look at it, you look at their website, like most people have terrible websites, right? So you wait a while until you have the confidence and the trust and they know you, and then you say, you know what, I think we could really do a lot better if we had a better landing page, or we had a better website, or we had a better blog, or we had a better YouTube channel, or we had a better Facebook page. What I find is that I have 5-6 clients, and they're like I'm running because there's this job, and then they talk about, and then once they start seeing you look after other areas, then they start bringing their problems, and they say, oh, we're really looking at doing this, and do you know anything about it? And I of course say yes. and then so I'll come up with a plan. Great, because we'd really like you to look after it for us, because there's a so my ideal client is somebody that is very good at what they do and doesn't want to do anything else. So they don't want to video edit. They just want to show up and record and know everything is looked after. They don't want to write blog posts. They don't want to have anything to do with that. They just want to do their main thing. And if I'm doing lead generation for them, they don't care about Google My Business or Maps or, or Pinterest or Instagram or TikTok. They just, okay, go ahead and do it, right? And so I'm very clear. That's my client. And I tell everybody, if you want to do all this techie stuff, God bless you, go for it. But if you don't, if you just want to focus on cleaning teeth, if you're a dentist, or cracking backs if you're a chiropractor, or painting if you're a painter, then I'll look after everything else, and you don't need to learn it. So, that's my avatar. I'm very clear on who it is. When people show up that aren't, then I try to serve them and help them, but I don't try to become, I don't try to make them my client, because it just never works, right? And I think in the beginning it's hard for people not to try. Anyone that breathes, please come and let me work for you, but that doesn't work in the long term, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Clients ultimately want results, and the specific skills that we use to help them get those results. Often we get our foot in the door by saying, hey, I'll help you with Facebook ads. But if you have another way of getting them leads, sales, or any other metric of success, then usually they're very open to it. So we're on the same page there.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that's the end of this lecture. In our next lecture, we're going to be talking about the expert watering hole.
Okay.
And
so I should wait. So I should start my screen share now or not yet?
Yes, start your screen share now. And let me just see if I can make a visual. Oh man, normally I'm so good with doing stuff here. I like to just put something up that just so we have a break. It's easy to say.
Okay. I am ready to go when you are.
All right, here we go. This is lecture 3, the expert watering hole. So Robert, what is the expert watering hole?
So expert watering hole. First off, what's a watering hole? Well, if you've ever been to Africa or watched Africa on National Geography, one of these animal videos, you always see these watering holes, and it's where all of the animals who live nearby kind of go to get their water. They need their water to live. And what you'll notice at these watering holes is it's the alpha animals, the lions, the tigers, not the bears because they're not in Africa, but these kind of big alpha creatures that get the first pick on where they want to drink the water, and they have control over the watering hole. And so when it comes to Upwork or other remote work platforms, basically you've also got a watering hole, and that is basically all the clients in one spot. And again, the alpha animals, in this case, it's going to be the top rated freelancers, the best performing freelancers. They get the first pick on which clients they are working with and are getting. So what do we want to do to emulate how their success is going? Well, we want to visit this expert watering hole. We want to study these creatures, these freelancers, see how they've set their profile up. And that's what we're going to use as the foundation to create an excellent profile for ourselves. So this process basically involves being on Upwork. You can be logged into a freelancer or client account, and you just want to make sure you have the find freelancers and agencies search area open. And for this example, we're just going to punch in graphic designer. So if I'm a graphic designer, then I want to, or whatever you're doing, you want to punch in your kind of main keyword about the skill you're offering to bring up a list of other freelancers who are doing that same thing. Now, what I recommend doing is looking at people who match the following characteristics. Okay, they're on the remote work platform you're using. In this case, it's Upwork. They're earning the hourly rate that you want to be earning. They are offering the same skill or very close to it, and they have significant work experience. They've earned lots of money. They've got lots of good reviews. Okay, so these are the only profiles we want to look at. Everything else is not going to help us. These are not going to be the alpha freelancers or animals. We want to look at these best performers. So the easiest way to do that after typing in your kind of main keyword in here on Upwork is to go onto the left side and use the filters. Now, I'm going to show you my favorite filters to use to help bring up a list like this. You can use any of them, though, if you think it's going to help you narrow in on the right people. We want to look at just freelancers, not agencies. We want to open up the hourly rate option here and find whichever kind of rate range is the most appropriate based on, again, what we want to be earning. So if I'm an expert, for sure, I'm going to look at $60 and above. And actually, in general, even if you wanted to earn less than $60 an hour, or that's what's fair in relation to your skill set, then you still might want to look at the top earners, because what they're doing is still going to be potentially better than the people who are earning less. For the job success score, for sure, we want to set that to 90% and up. For the earned amount, I'm going to open that once it loads here. We want to pretty much just be looking at people who've earned ideally $10,000 US or more. At this point, you don't need to set the hours billed, because $10,000 earned will mean they've worked many hours. You may want to set the English level, though, to match whatever your English level is. Or actually, I take that back. This is going to be like the same thing as the hourly rate. We want to look at native English speakers. You always want to present yourself because Upwork is a native English platform. You want to present yourself as closely as possible to being a native English speaker. If you're not, and of course, if you are, then you are. So now we've got a list here still more than 5 pages worth of freelancers, more than 50 plus freelancers who are going to match these kind of characteristics, these filters we've set, who are basically the top performing graphic designers. And so what we're going to do, I've just pulled up this kind of Upwork profile research workbook, and we'll include a link for people to make a free copy of this. And what you've got going on here is just a place to basically take notes of the profiles you find on Upwork as you're kind of examining these top freelancers. So on the left side, you can punch in the URL of profiles that you like. And then each column basically has a spot for all the different pieces of someone's profile. So if I say, oh, look, Laura or Noella, she's doing what I'm doing. You click it. You're like, I'm just waiting for it to load here. Okay, so once Noella, her profile is loaded, we can look, hey, is she doing the same kind of thing I'm doing? And we can see her profile is made up of many things, her picture, her title, her description. She's got a portfolio down here, some skills and employment history, all these little pieces that make up her profile. So this workbook's got a column for each of those. And my suggestion is to look at a minimum of 20 to 30 profiles who match the characteristics we just covered. Take notes of the trends, okay? And that's why we look at 20 to 30 profiles. We want to look at enough so that we can actually see what are these top performers, these experts, what are they doing consistently or on average? And we want to use our workbook here to take notes of those. Likewise, unique bits, we will see examples of people who've done things creatively, intelligently, humorously, professionally, ways we like people to present themselves through. And so if you see something you like, well, you might not see everyone doing that, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't include it. So use the workbook to take notes of both these unique bits and the trends. And then at the end of this, you have completed this expert watering hole exercise, and you've put together an excellent workbook. You've done the research. You should have many examples now of how exactly you should take yourself, your experience, and properly communicate it through a stellar Upwork profile.
Awesome. You'll see a button called resources in this lecture, and that's where you can download this spreadsheet and use it. Awesome. So that's some pretty cool ways to improve your profile. And I really like the idea of not having to start from scratch. Look at what's being done successfully. You don't want to copy anything word for word, but you do want to. But you do, because I hate that when it happens. And when I see it, that's someone I definitely don't want to be working with. So in our next lecture, we're going to be talking about the double agent. And here we go. And I think we have enough time to do it.
Okay, yep.
And what is the double agent? I just put that in the description.
Okay, so the double agent is a technique for getting familiar with how Upwork works from the business owner / client's perspective.
Great.
Okay, it's also extremely helpful for finding freelancers doing what we want to be doing successfully, so that we can learn from them when we are creating our own profile.
Cool. Okay, this is lecture 4, the double agent. I feel like we should be wearing tuxedos, Robert, and having really hot cars and charging around hairpin turns in Italy. So we are now double agents. And what does that mean in terms of Upwork and creating some pretty amazing profiles?
Yeah, so the double agent, right? It's referring to kind of this idea of espionage or being a spy. And that's essentially what we want to do for just a few moments on Upwork when we're getting started. And so what that looks like is basically you can create at any time a free client profile on Upwork. So as if you're a business owner, okay? So you can do this, doesn't cost any money. And then once you've got that account set up, what it will allow you and invite you to do is actually post a job. And again, this doesn't cost any money. You're just kind of putting a feeler out there to see if someone could help you with something. So what I suggest you do is basically post your dream job. What is the perfect client and type of work, type of project that you would like to be earning? Post a job through your client account that describes this kind of work. And while you're doing this, it doesn't take long. It should take maybe 5 to 10 minutes at most. While you're doing this, the invitation and suggestion is going to be put yourself in the client's shoes. Notice the entire process that a business owner is going to go through on Upwork through their client account to actually post a job. So you'll do that while you're filling it out. And then once it's filled out, Upwork's going to say, hey, here's some freelancers we suggest inviting to the job. Take a look. Who are they suggesting? What's also going to start happening, though, is that freelancers are going to actively apply to the job. And so the people who apply, well, some of them, like we covered in one of our other units, they might have a great hourly rate, have lots of good experience, have lots of good reviews. And they might be one of these people that are a good example to learn from. And so we can add those people who come from this kind of double agent tactic. We can use them as part of our research to craft our own profile based on what's working for others doing the same kind of work. In addition to getting all this awesome hands-on experience and familiarity with how the platform works from the client's perspective, this is going to be massively helpful as a freelancer, and it only takes a few minutes to do. So this is something I recommend for people when they're starting out on the platform or the platform Upwork, or if they've never done it before in the past, you definitely want to put your spy hat on, bring out the 9 million Ferrari and be a spy for a few minutes. I don't know what kind of spies are using this equipment, but it's besides the point.
I think it's a great strategy, because what we really want to do is we want to find our ideal client. And if we pretend we are, then we can see who's serving those people, see what, because everything you want to do is a little bit better than your competition, right? If you can make your profile just a little bit better, if you can make your testimonials a little bit better, if you can have a picture that's a little bit better, if you can do your keyword research a little bit better, then all these little increments improve your opportunities to actually attract your ideal client. And I think that's really the key. Yep,
absolutely. And I should add too that you don't actually want to be messaging these people or paying them or hiring them. You're only posting the job, seeing who expresses interest, and not going any further than that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you want to be nice, and you don't want to make life miserable for other people on the platform. That's not the point.
Absolutely.
Of it. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of this section. And in the next section, we're going to be talking about the Upwork profile crafting process. We're really going to get into the nuts and bolts. So what I want you to do at this point is go through the last 3 lectures if you haven't already taken notes, and go through them a little bit slower, open up Upwork and start doing some of this work. And then we're going to be able to actually use that in the next section. And we'll see you then. All right. Awesome.